Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. I knew this conversation was coming. I saw it in the way she looked at me last night, the way her words lingered on the edge of something unspoken. And now, here we are. She's standing in front of me, waiting for an answer she already knows she won't like. But there are some things that can't be said softly, some truths that can't be dressed up to make them easier to hear. So I take a deep breath, steady my voice, and say the words that need to be said. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. She knew what this was from the beginning. I never lied to her, never pretended to be a man who was free, who had no ties, no responsibilities. From the very first moment, she knew the truth. I have a wife, a life, a marriage that may not be perfect, but one that I am not willing to throw away. Not for passion, not for temptation, not even for the feelings that have grown between us. She thinks I'm being a coward. I can see it in her eyes, the frustration, the disappointment, the belief that I am choosing comfort over love. She doesn't understand. She thinks if I truly cared for her, this would be simple. That love should be enough to burn everything down and start over. But life doesn't work that way. And love, as powerful as it is, does not erase the past. It does not undo vows spoken in faith. It does not justify the destruction of a family. I can't give her what she wants. She wants an answer that changes everything. A promise that I will walk away from my wife, from the life I built, and choose her instead. But I won't, because love built on betrayal is never strong enough to last. Because no matter how much I care for her, I will not rewrite my future in a way that leaves nothing but broken hearts behind. So I stand firm, even as I watch the hurt cross her face, even as I feel the weight of what this means. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. And now I wait, because I know she has something to say. She doesn't speak right away. Her lips press together, her hands clench into fists at her sides, and I can see the storm brewing inside her. She wants to argue, to tell me that love should be stronger than loyalty, that what we have should matter more than the promises I made before I met her. But she knows I am not a man who bends under pressure, and no matter how much she wants me to, my answer will not change. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. She doesn't believe this is the end. Her eyes narrow, her voice low when she finally speaks. You love me, she says, as if it's a fact that should override everything else. And she's not wrong, I do. But love is not the only thing that defines a man. Honor, responsibility, commitment. These are not things I can discard because my heart desires something forbidden. I never promised you forever, I remind her. I never told you I would leave her. She shakes her head, frustration bleeding into every movement. You never said you wouldn't either. And maybe she's right. Maybe in my selfishness, I let her believe in a possibility that was never real. She thinks I'm lying to myself. You're unhappy, she accuses. I see it every time you talk about her. You stay because you think you have to, not because you want to. Her words hit harder than I expect, because there is truth in them. Marriage is not the dream it once was. The passion has faded, the connection worn thin by time, by routine, by a life that is more obligation than romance. But that doesn't mean I will walk away. It doesn't mean I will destroy the life I built just because something new, something exciting came along. That's not your decision to make, I tell her. You don't get to rewrite my marriage just because you want a different ending. She wants a choice that I won't give. Her jaw tightens, and I know what's coming next. The ultimatum, the moment she tries to force me into choosing between her and the life I refuse to abandon. She thinks I'm afraid of change, that if she pushes hard enough, I will finally break. But she's wrong. I will not be pressured. Not by love, not by guilt, not by the aching need, that lingers every time I look at her and imagine a world where things were different. Because some choices once made cannot be undone, and this is a choice I have already made. So I meet her gaze, unwavering, unshaken. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife, and now I wait, because I know this conversation is far from over. Her breath is unsteady now, her hands trembling at her sides. She thought she could change my mind, that if she just pushed hard enough, if she made me see how much she cared, I would break, that I would throw everything away for her. But she doesn't understand. Love isn't always about choosing what feels good in the moment. It's about standing by the choices we've already made. And no matter how much she wants me to, I will not walk away from my marriage. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. She doesn't want to accept the truth. Her eyes search mine, desperate for hesitation, for doubt, some small sign that I'm lying to myself. Because if she finds it, she'll have hope. Hope that I'll change my mind. Hope that this isn't the end of us. But there is no hesitation, no doubt. Because the truth is, no matter how much I care for her, I cannot give her what she wants. She shakes her head, a bitter laugh escaping her lips. You're choosing misery. No, I say quietly, I'm choosing integrity. She wants more than I can give. She deserves someone who is free to love her completely, who can stand beside her without guilt, without shame, without the weight of broken vows hanging between them. And I can't be that man, not now, not ever. She takes a step back, arms crossed over her chest like she's trying to hold herself together. I thought you loved me, she whispers, and I do, but love alone isn't always enough. This moment will change everything. We both know it. There is no going back from this conversation, no undoing what has been said. She will either accept my decision and walk away, or she will stay, hoping that one day I will say something different. But I won't, because no matter how much I feel for her, no matter how much this hurts, my answer will never change. I meet her gaze, steady, unwavering. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. And now I wait, because I know this is the moment where everything between us shifts. She exhales sharply, as if my words have stolen the air from her lungs. Her eyes darken with something between frustration and heartbreak, and for a brief moment I wonder if she'll turn and walk away. But she doesn't. Not yet. Because she still believes there's something left to fight for. Something I haven't admitted to myself. But she's wrong. Because no matter how much she pushes, no matter how much she hopes, this is a line I will not cross. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. She refuses to believe it's over. Her fingers tighten into fists. This isn't fair, she says, voice shaking. You don't get to pull me into your life, make me feel this way, and then just decide you won't leave her. I close my eyes for a moment, steadying myself. I never meant to hurt her. Never wanted this to become more than something fleeting, something that could be left behind without pain. But love doesn't follow the rules we set for it. And now we are here, standing at the edge of something that can't be undone. She thinks I'm afraid. You're scared, she accuses. You tell yourself this is about loyalty, about doing the right thing, but it's not. You just don't have the courage to walk away. The words sting. Because maybe there's some truth in them. Maybe I have told myself that staying is noble, that honoring my vows makes me a better man. But the truth is, I don't know who I am outside of my marriage, and I'm not ready to find out. Love isn't always enough. She steps closer, lowering her voice. You love me, she says, and it's not a question, it's a fact, one neither of us can deny. But love is not the only thing that holds a life together. And I know deep down that love built on betrayal will never be strong enough to last. I admit. But I also love the life I've built, and I can't destroy it for you. The final goodbye is coming. She inhales sharply, blinking fast, like she's trying to keep her emotions in check. But we both know the truth. This is the moment where she decides to stay and hope I'll change my mind, or to walk away before this love consumes us both. I hold my breath, waiting for her answer, because no matter what she says, no matter how much this hurts, my decision will not change. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. And now, I wait. She stares at me, her lips parted, as if searching for one final argument, one last plea that will break my resolve. But there is nothing left to say. Nothing that will change the truth I have already spoken. Because no matter how much she wants me to, I will not turn my back on my marriage. And I will not pretend that love is a reason to abandon everything I once promised to protect. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. She looks at me like I'm the one hurting her. She shakes her head, a bitter smile tugging at the corners of her lips. You act like this is some noble decision, she whispers. Like staying in a broken marriage makes you a better man. I don't respond right away, because she doesn't understand. This isn't about being a better man. It's about not being the kind of man who destroys the life he built for something uncertain. It's about knowing that no matter how much I feel for her, I will not let that feeling dictate my actions. She wants me to choose her, completely. I don't want to be the woman you hide, she continues, her voice unsteady now. I don't want stolen moments and empty promises. I want a real future. I nod because I knew this moment was coming. She deserves more than what I can give her, more than the half-life of being someone's secret. And I refuse to lie to her just to keep her close. I can't give you that, I say finally. Not the way you want me to. She deserves the truth, even if it hurts. Tears glisten in her eyes, but she refuses to let them fall. She is strong, stronger than I deserve. And I know deep down she already knew this was how it would end. She just didn't want to believe it. You told me you loved me, she whispers. And I do. But love doesn't erase consequences. It doesn't undo the years I've spent building a life with someone else. I do love you, I admit, but that doesn't change anything. This is the moment that decides everything. She takes a step back, inhaling deeply, as if preparing herself for what comes next. And I know she has only two choices: to keep fighting for something that will never be hers completely, or to walk away. And as much as I want to hold on to her, to keep her in my life in some way, I know what she must do. So I brace myself, because no matter what she says next, my answer will remain the same. Darling, you can't pressure me to divorce my wife. And now I wait for her final decision.